We're gonna go backwards a little bit because Five Nights at Freddy's 2 comes out on December 5th. This one takes place 1 year after the first movie and
Hmm.
follows the characters of Mike and Abby as they uncover the dark secrets about the true origins of Freddy's. The first one, it's wild because it didn't do well critically, 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it
Hmm.
did a great job at the box office
Yeah.
despite coming out in theaters and streaming at the same time.
Yep.
291 worldwide on a $20
That's
million budget. That is nuts.
Now that is very much so along the lines of what Blumhouse has done in the past, where we end up seeing Blumhouse, The Invisible Man, great example of where seems to generate a huge box office hit just off of a couple $1 million. Five Nights, though, has a huge following. What is your investment level with Mike and Abby?
Zero. I saw the first movie. I've never played the games.
Yeah, same.
I was indifferent on the first movie. I it
Hmm.
didn't it wasn't what I wanted or as I went into it, what I was going into it for. It it wasn't quite what I
Yeah,
expected.
didn't turn out to be that. Now, that's funny that you say that because I'm actually very surprised the movie did as well as it did because I felt like it was leaning too hard into the Mike and that family dynamic and aspect more than the characters at Five Nights. Like it seemed to feature them, but they seemed to be almost side
Side stuff,
characters.
yeah.
Yeah, a big thing to note. I'm not an avid gamer whenever it comes to this series. I've talked to a lot of people who are, and it sounds like fun. It sounds like there's a lot of lore that they can dive into. I do also think that they're going to lean harder into the video game aspect in terms of they're going to draw more of that lore. It's going to really make a lot of fans happy. Um, Critic wise, I think it's going to be a little bit lower then.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I
the
do think
then the first one?
I do. Like, I
Wow.
do think critics, they're not going to say, oh, we're getting like what we talked about before while guessing Rotten Tomatoes uh, and a prediction of what critics will say as a consensus. We say normally there's one film, it's got to establish a base and it builds upon that. I think there's a base that's been created, and just like The Strangers, chapter one and two, I think critics are like, yeah, still not what we're looking for. So I think it's going to drop a little bit. And am I going up? I'm going down
Oh my gosh.
a little bit. I'm going to say this gets 30%.
Wow. I I think the opposite. I don't see glowing reviews, but I think because you know what you've signed up for, I think the reaction improves. I did 47%. But you know what? When we did The Strangers Chapter 2,
Hmm.
my thought process was it can't be as bad as the first one. And
Yeah.
it somehow was as bad, if not worse, because it did
Mm.
worse.
Hmm.
So I could be wrong with this.
I don't know. This is an interesting thing because I feel like, not to get into the whole discussion of horror of the year 2025 or horror movies that have come out this year. Again, I think that critics are like, yeah, we're just not into it still. And I bring up The Strangers as a good comparison because I feel like it will lean in that direction. I think fans will like it higher. This may score a little bit higher among the fans, but critics, I think it'll drop a little bit more.